And welcome to the Neve Smith Money Show with me, Neve Smith. Today we will be doing a special on hyperinflation. Hyperinflation is a situation where the price increases are so out of control that the concept of inflation is meaningless. Germany began to suffer with it during the First World War. Instead of taxing the people more heavily, they started printing more and more money. Soon there was too much money and not enough goods. Things got worse at the end of the war. In May 1921, the London Ultimatum demanded that Germany paid reparations of gold or foreign currency as payment for the destruction they had caused. The amount, 132 million gold marks, or in British currency, £6.6 million. Germany found themselves forced to buy foreign currency at any price they could. This devalued the mark further, so that the amount of marks needed to buy the currency went up. Eventually, the mark became so worthless that they weren't able to purchase anything, including the foreign currency and the gold. Now by Otto Schäfer. Thank you for joining me today.
Sure.
Herr Schäfer, what is your occupation?
Ich bin ein Obst- und Gemüsehändler.
Could you repeat that in English, please?
Oh, Entschuldigung, ja, I am a greengrocer und a grocer.
Can you explain how hyperinflation has affected you?
Yeah, it has been very poor for my business because the things that I sell, my customers cannot afford because the value is increasing hour after hour. For example, das Brot ist now 3 billion mark, das Bier ist 4 billion mark, das Fleisch ist 6,3 billion mark, de Käse, de Eier is silly.
For English viewers, the bread is 3 billion marks, the glass of beer costs 4 billion marks, and the meat is 36 billion marks. So, Schäfer, what do you think the solution to this problem is?
Well, I don't really know. I know that people are promoting Adolf Hitler to they think he will sort the country out and get this out of it, but personally speaking, I think that Adolf Hitler is a madman, and I think he is no good whatsoever for the future of Germany. I think the only way we can get out of this is by promoting the trade links with other countries around the world, and certainly within Europe, and basically trade our way out of this situation.
So, what do you think the future holds for you and your family and your grocery store?
Well, looking at it as it is now, it's not good, and I think my business will probably close in the not too distant future, as none of my customers can afford any of my products that I sell. They are just buying one or two items. I cannot survive on this level of custom. It is not their fault, it is the fact that the prices are too high. And yes, it's not looking good for me and my family.
Thank you, Herr Schäfer.
Sure.
In late 1922, Germany couldn't pay an instalment of their reparations on time. The French and Belgians responded by occupying the Ruhr district in January 1923. The government told the people there to go on strike and to resist the enemy troops. Over the next 8 months there was a lot of violence. 132 people were killed and 150,000 citizens were expelled from their homes. This was written about in the Evening Standard on October the 13th, 1923.
At Cologne yesterday, outbreaks of looting were a frequent occurrence in spite of the activity of all the available police. Many shops remain unopened and others are barricaded. Many lorries were held up on their way to market and were looted of potatoes, meat and bread, as well as of tobacco and boots.
Now by Klaus, Otto's twin brother. Thank you for joining me today.
Sure.
Herr Schäfer, what is your occupation?
I am a coal miner.
Can you explain how hyperinflation has affected you?
It has affected us because the French and the Belgians are coming into our country and taking all the coal to repay the debts that Germany owe due to the war. It is not good. It is not good for us.
What do you think the solution to this problem is?
I really don't know what the solution is. We need to stop the French and the Belgians taking all our coal. Want to use that coal to trade with other countries, to try and bring some money back into Germany.
What do you think the future holds for you and your family?
The future is not good. I am one of 150,000 people that have been evicted from my home, and then my family with me. The German government have told us to go on strike, which obviously is not good for me or my family. And, over 100 people have been killed because of the strikes. It is not looking good from for the future.
Thank you, Herr Schäfer.
Yeah.
It became worthless very quickly, as one German writer found out.
One fine day I dropped into a cafe to have a coffee. As I went in I noticed the price was 5,000 marks, just about what I had in my pocket. I sat down, read my paper, drank my coffee and spent altogether about 1 hour in the cafe, and then asked for my bill. The waiter duly presented me with a bill for 8,000 marks. Why 8,000 marks? I asked. The mark had dropped in the meantime, I was told.
You're welcome.
Herr Schmidt, what was your occupation before you retired?
I was the school teacher. I taught the little children to speak the English.
Can you explain how hyperinflation has affected you?
Yeah, very, very badly. All my savings that I had are now worthless. I have no money. I feel very bitter towards the government.
What do you think the solution to this problem is?
Oh, I wish I knew. Maybe Adolf Hitler and his new party. They seem to listen to what the people want.
What do you think the future holds for you and your family?
I wish I knew. I think we may starve. I don't see any way out. I feel very bitter towards the government.
Thank you, Herr Schmidt. Germany appointed a new Chancellor, Gustav Stresemann. He immediately called off the resistance and ordered the people of the Ruhr to go back to work. A new currency, the Rentenmark, was installed on November the 16th, 1923. The Dawes Plan, created by American Charles Dawes, set realistic targets for post-hyperinflation Germany regarding their reparations. Germany was owed £200 million to help with the cost. This plan stabilised Germany and the economy quickly got back to strength. There have been several examples of hyperinflation in the past. For example, during the French Revolution, when the currency of France were assignats. These were overprinted and caused hyperinflation. Napoleon replaced them with the franc in 1803, at which time the assignats were basically worthless. The situation in France is very similar to the recent situation in Germany, as both started by the overprinting of banknotes. Other examples of hyperinflation in the 1920s occurred in the Soviet Union, where hyperinflation reached 213%, Poland, Hungary and Austria. Opinions of historical writers have varied. Alan Wright offered his neutral view in his 1997 book, The Weimar Republic.
The impact of hyperinflation within Germany was uneven. Some profited from it. Industrialists and landowners who owed money were able to pay off their debts in devalued currency. Others were able to escape the worst, those, for example, whose wealth took the form of property, or those with goods or skills that could be readily bartered. The principal losers in 1923, though, were those who with cash savings, who experienced the trauma of seeing the value of their savings completely wiped out.
Essential modern world history, Stephen Waugh was also neutral.
Hyperinflation was a disaster for most Germans. Some, however, benefited.
Sources suggest that both writers don't have opinion because they are looking at both the positives and the negatives. I think this neutral view is good, as it lets the reader make their own decision without being influenced. The cause was the First World War. The war had a long aftermath, as so much damage had been done to both people and property. The view of the Allies was that if Germany hadn't caused the war in the first place, then there would have been no hyperinflation problems. It was also a time of political and social upheaval, so that also contributed to the problem. There were also short-term causes, such as Germany producing too much paper currency and some people's irresponsible borrowing. And that's all. Thanks for watching.